Greetings, YouTube. You know, when you buy a new car, you gotta test drive it. You gotta, let the top down, take it out to the coast, let the cool breeze hit your face, make you forget you've got a job, that kind of thing. And got a 565 Omega Red, but what's the good of using him if I don't use him, right? So I was gonna take him into map 5, but it's day 1. You know, the prestige isn't very high. The energy is going to be spent very fast, and the path that I take, which is path 2 of really both tier 1 and tier 2, you have to wait on people to clear you, and then I'm going to have to use Corvus to get that mutant charge anyway. So it's just not a good video. It's not a good example of what 565 Omega Red can do, particularly because the hype with this champion is twofold. I have been pitched to use this champion for 2 reasons. One, you've got this amazing regeneration with max suicides being your best friend in terms of mastery setup. And then the second is, Prof, I know how you like to parry and stay close to the opponent. You can literally, the word is melt like a grilled cheese. You can grilled cheese that opponent without even having to worry about using specials if you don't want. And that's my playstyle. I'm a very defensive player. I don't count on intercepting to win fights. Even when I'm facing stun immune champs or champs with masochism or Buffett, I like to hold block, which is why perfect block is maxed out, and bait heavies to counter. I would much rather hold block down and bait a heavy to counter than risk being intercepted on my intercept and be wrecked. That's just my fighting style. People who are much more skilled in terms of intercepting and offensive masters, like, say, Brian Grant or Seaton, Lagacy, Dorkadee Dave, all those great YouTubers, I have huge respect for them. You're watching Mr. Defensive. Maybe you can call me Mr. Weenie and I can sponsor a hot dog brand, but that is my level of gameplay. I always get extremely nervous when I do gameplay videos because I know that I have really big hands. I'm almost 6'3", and I tap my screen, and I have a very sensitive microphone, and people say, that tapping is so annoying, stop it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. But for the sake of argument, we're going to just put up with the tapping because we have one path left of uncollected to 100% complete the monthly event. Not sure why 100% complete was so hard for me to say on the Sunday. And I did throw in, hey, what do you know? My 6-star Deadpool X-Force. This is my current questing team. I got Corvus to take down Warlock because Omega Red, it is true, it is not a good counter for Warlock. But I've got Blade and Ghost Rider if I want to use that combo. And then I've got Omega Red with Deadpool X-Force and Corvus. And this is my current questing team. PI over 73,500 with my mastery set up the way it is. Life is good. So we are just going to go through and do some uncollected fights in the last chapter. This is, perceived to be the last hardest kind of PI because you're facing enemies that are anywhere between 17,000 to 18, 19,000 even, and then a boss of 34,000. So it is Unstoppable Colossus, and I do like to do what I used to do with Juggernaut, which is to parry this guy. And it's interesting because with this fight, I can parry and stay close and actually build up some spores for a few seconds. Now that the Unstoppable is off, we will just see how much he can melt. And I am going to stay as close. This is one of those fights that's not the best example because if he becomes unstoppable, you're just not going to be able to parry as much. But I'm not going to use specials in this video. We're just going to pretend like specials don't exist. And we are going to just wait and watch with all those spores. He is still melting, and in the middle of a hit, the game almost glitched because I won the fight and he was trying to punch me. And it's almost like the game wasn't prepared for the melting. And that's one of the tougher fights, I would say, for the traditional style because it's a fight with the Unstoppable. Now, even though we do not have the class advantage, in fact, it is a class disadvantage with Stark Spidey, and normally I would take in Corvus and get that tech charge. It still annoys me that, unfortunately, Starky is not a Avenger. I get why, but at the same time, it would be nice for that Avenger mission as well. But we're going to take in Omega Red. Who cares about the spores being in a disadvantage of class because he can still put them on. And we're just going to see what kind of damage we can do against Starky. Remember, no specials are going to be used in this video. It's all going to be simply parry, counter combo. Parry, counter combo. That is my strategy. Now, I got clipped a little bit, so let's test out that regen, huh? You can see I'm ticking over 100 per. I'm losing 18 health, but I'm gaining, I think it's 127. So that's going to come into play in future fights, and we're going to see after I wreck the opponent, and this Moon Knight should be a good example of this, how much my health is going to actually improve by the end of the fight. So let's go back to Omega Red. Right now we're at 17,800 health, and in terms of percentage, that is a 63% health. All right, let's do our thing and then see what we're at, assuming we don't get clipped by the end of the fight. I also have people who always say, Prof, why don't you end with medium attacks more? So I'm trying to make a note to end more with mediums. Man, look at how much he's melted away. All right, I went from 63% to 70% health. 17 hits, 0 specials used this entire time. And these are the highest PI of enemies of the hardest monthly difficulty. That is just fun. He feels like a cheat code. And honestly, with this lifesteal suicide mastery-like effect, I just feel like I'm invincible. It's similar to how people feel, and I just have to trust them because I don't have them when they send me clips of 5-star Aegon, except that's with the max combo. We don't have to worry about our combo. You saw me get wrecked a little bit against Stark Spidey. I just got clipped from Ant-Man. See, you can come up small, Ant-Man. So let's see if we can bounce back. As you can see, again, the 127 tick health with the 18 loss is such a great trade-off. 100 per tick, and Ant-Man is literally wasting his life away during that special one animation. So, not a great fight. Got hit 4 times. And as always, like anybody in the quote-unquote in-game community circle, the goal is to just never get hit, right? If you never get hit, you never have to worry about dying. It's a pretty safe fact of life. But we are going to see if we can get some more health back against Archangel. I love me some Archangel. He's who took my Mutant Awakening gem away from Omega Red, and that's what forced me to use the generic, but I still love Archangel. I'm glad I have him at rank 4. I do not regret it. And yes, the tapping is still going on, but we are just increasing our health at 100 per tick, which is incredible. 0 specials used this entire time, and the spores are just... Notice how I held block and kept the spores high, and then that's all I did. I let him do the work. He hit into my block. I gained health back the entire time. His health was still degenning a massive amount. And that's really all we care about. And now we are going to do a Sabertooth fight. And I'll use a couple of my smaller energy refills for this because we are almost to the Warlock boss. And that is not a boss that I would encourage anybody to use with Omega Red. I do believe he was created partially to beat Omega Red counter on defense, which is another reason why I'm so thankful I don't play Alliance War anymore. But yeah, let's just do this. We're at 54% health, and hopefully we won't get hit. Thank you for those of you who stayed with this video and have put up with the tapping. I hope it's not too annoying. And if it's not, maybe I'll do more gameplay videos in the future. I just get so worried that I'm wasting people's time. All right, bait the heavy, and then go back. And we are now safely back to 61% health, and he just melted. I feel like I have to remind myself in these fights that I'm fighting a very high-rated 6-star champion because it feels like I'm fighting maybe a 4-star or even a 3-star. This is how it used to feel with Scarlet Witch in before patch 12.0, or maybe even somebody like OG Thor before patch 12.0. And so I just love this. I know that Captain Marvel is going to be my next rank up, assuming I get the resources and the Awakening Gem, etc. But for now, Omega Red, thank you to everybody who encouraged me to rank him up because this is just so much fun. He feels like an invincible cheat code. And when you can do this insane damage without ever firing off a special, the game's just a lot of fun. And that's why I play this game, to have fun. And now I can have even more fun because we successfully, thanks to the Mama Bear luck all the way from Chicago, pulled Omega Red, and then Z and the rest of my alliance supported that stream, and you all supported my channel from the beginning. So thanks again. Hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to make this 10 minutes. I'm going to cut it off before, and I just wanted to say again, woo! So much fun. Can't wait to bring this guy into Alliance Quest. He is so much fun to play. Highly recommend. Suicide Masteries check, Sig 200 check, and then go out, take out that new car, and just enjoy life.